A Pokemon Presents has been confirmed for July 22nd, which means that we are about to get a lot of new Pokemon information. Pokemon Presents range from covering all aspects of the franchise, the TCG, the spin-off games, and of course, the mainline games. I think we can expect some Legends ZA information. But yeah, we'll be covering all the things in this video that I think we can see in this Presents. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to the post where we talk about all things Pokemon. July 22nd, Pokemon Presents. This is insane. This is actually the furthest ahead of time that we have had a Presents revealed to us. This was revealed in like the last week of May. So this is something we've been sitting on for a while now, guys, which is really insane. Like seriously, 2 months advance almost. That's crazy. But yeah, this is going to have all these different game announcements in it. Let's get into what we think we're going to see, starting with the spin-off games. You're going to get updates for all the spin-off games that are currently like in circulation, getting various updates right now. That'd be Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Masters EX, Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon TCG Pocket. I'm sure they'll announce whatever the next TCG set for it will be. Pokemon Go and Pokemon Cafe Remix will also be here. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really play much of these mobile spin-off games, so I can not really make a great guess at what I think we could see from them, but I'm sure that you can let me know in the comments what you think is likely to come. And also in the weeks leading up to the Presents, a lot of these things, it'll be data mined, like what exactly is going to be in them, because you know, they'll release an update a few weeks before and you'll see, oh, it's this special thing for Pokemon Go, or oh, they're adding this Pokemon to Pokemon Unite, all that stuff. Yeah, you can expect to see that. But one thing I do expect to see that is new from the spin-off mobile games is a new spin-off mobile game. Typically, we've been seeing this pattern recently where GameFreak's been adding to the roster of mobile games. You know, we had last year Pokemon TCG Pocket. I think the year prior was Pokemon Sleep. All of these games were added over the various years that Pokemon's made its move to the iPhone. I think really mainly starting with Pokemon Go. And I think we're going to see another one this year. Now, what that could be, I'm not entirely sure. I think that, you know, one could say that's Champions. I don't think it'll be Champions and more on Champions. I think that'll be our mobile game for next year, but we'll talk about Champions in a little bit here because I do think it'll be present in the Presents. But yeah, this could be anything. You know, one thing Pokemon's done is kind of tried to tap into like the health world. You know, they released Pokemon Smile at one point, which was a Pokemon game that encouraged you to brush your teeth. Pokemon Go, which encourages you to get outdoors, walk a little bit, and then also they have Pokemon Sleep, which encourages a good night of sleep. So one thing they could do is some kind of diet-based thing, maybe. I don't know. The thing is, it's like, that doesn't sound necessarily appealing to me. I mean, I'm a guy who is, you know, in a constant battle with his weight and always trying to lose a little. So I would probably pick it up, but like, I don't know how big of a desire there is for a Pokemon weight loss thing, and I don't think it necessarily even be weight loss. It could be like cooking, or you know, just like overall like eating healthy, not necessarily like losing weight, but just taking care of your body, right? But then on that note, a cooking one actually does sound kind of nice, like a Pokemon cooking game, and maybe there's like it tells you like real life cooking, but they're giving you recipes on there, and maybe you're even making stuff from the Pokemon games, you know, like the various curries from Galar or sandwiches from Paldea, or even like Pokepuffs or even Pokeblocks and stuff. That could be kind of fun. But yeah, let me know what you think for a new spin-off game, a new mobile game specifically you think we'll see. The TCG very well could pop up here. I've already mentioned TCG Pocket. That'll undoubtedly be here, but the TCG also makes a little appearance in these Pokemon Presents from time to time. We could be seeing this again here. It's actually kind of been a pattern recently that they've really started to drum it up, and it makes sense. The TCG is more popular now than it's, you know, ever been. It's been increasingly at an exponential rate, just growing in how popular it is. So it makes sense that they would, you know, want to capitalize on that by having it featured in their presentations more. what they could announce is beyond me. We know that Mega Evolution is coming to the TCG. Maybe they give some more information on that. Maybe they announce that it will coincide with Terrastol, or I don't know. You can only speculate. Again, not big on TCG myself. But yeah, Pokemon Concierge, we do know that they're working on a second season of this. We could very likely get a trailer in here or some kind of update for it. I think that's very possible. We did have from the Terra leak, we found out that they were at one point working on a Netflix series that was going to be set in Kanto and be real-life Pokemon. Also, Detective Pikachu 2 has been in the works, but all of those feel way too big, except for Concierge. I think Concierge will be here, but the other stuff I think feels too big for this year, and I think they'd want to shelf that for February when they're celebrating their 30th anniversary of the franchise. The Pokemon World Championships held in San Diego, I believe, this year, will also, in Anaheim. It's in Anaheim this year. That'll also be happening a month after this presents, so I imagine we'll get some announcements on that. They typically do events at the worlds that they have. Like, they'll have a Pokemon Center, and they even sometimes have like parades or drone shows or something. I could see an announcement of those events taking place and in this presents. And then, yeah, that's really all I can think of for Worlds, but I do think they'll mention it because it is right on the horizon. Of course, we'll get a little Scarlet and Violet update. I think that they'll, maybe mention the patch that, has it performing better on the Switch 2, which if you want my first reaction to that and thoughts on it, you can check out this video that links it. But yeah, I think they'll do a raid event, a Terra raid, and they'll also probably do one of those mass outbreaks. But other than that, Scarlet and Violet's done. Our focus is on ZA, and I think theirs is too. They're not going to do a ton for this game. Hold up now, Lumi from the future here, and I'm here to tell you about a new thing we have over here on Trader Lumi. So we now officially have merch, and I mean like really, really good merch. For those of you who know me from Hidden Power, the artist who does our merch over there, as well as most of our like actual branding over there, his name is Noivy, very talented artist, and he was very, very kind enough to work with me on some merch for my store. And that's where we get to this point. I'm bringing you the Icons merch lineup. This is inspired by those kinds of shirts that you'll see like other brands do them. Tommy Bahama does it, Izod does it, where it'll be like a company, like maybe it's a coffee shop, or perhaps an expedition company, or maybe even just a little fishing charter company, whatever it may be. It's fictional, it's not a real thing, but it's got a super stylish logo, and you buy it anyways. So yeah, represent your favorite regions. We've got the Galar region with Holbury Krabby Fishing Company. We have the Kanto region with the Old Amber Coffee Company, and we have the Land of Kitakami with Oni Expeditions. So grab one of these. We've got them in mugs, we've got them in shirts, we've got some hats, we've got some bottles and tumblers, right? Yeah, all the stylish stuff. Get your stuff for your next beach day, summer adventure, whatever it might be. Be sure to pick that up. There should be links below. In fact, you should be able to see the store below, but if you can't, there is a link in the description to the shop. Check it all out, and yeah, pick you up some merch for this summer. Moving into the new games, we've got Pokemon Champions and Pokemon Legends EA that we're waiting on. Pokemon Champions is set up as kind of a successor to Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Battle Revolution. It's going to be a battle simulator, and it's going to allow you to use the Pokemon in your Pokemon home to battle with. I think we will get an announcement for this here. We'll see more gameplay footage. We'll maybe even see the confirmation of Dynamax being in this game, because that's something I've speculated on, is that Dynamax will be present, since we know Mega Evolution, we know Terrastol is, and the stadiums definitely look big enough to where your trainer could just, do the little Dynamax information, have the big old Dynamax Pokemon behind them. I think it could come. I think it will come. Maybe they'll announce it here, though. And then I also think they'll give us at least a release window. I would like for them to give us a release date, but I will take a release window. Currently, what they've said about Champions is that it is in development. They haven't really given us too much on what that means, like we don't know, okay, is it releasing this year, next year? We don't know, but I think here they'll say like early 2026 or mid 2026 or whatever it might be. Either way, I do think that Champions will be releasing after Pokemon Legends EA releases, just because I think they're going to want to reintroduce us to Mega Evolution with that game, and then let us play around with them in Champions, especially if there are any new ones in Pokemon Legends EA. And on that note, Pokemon Legends EA, if there are new Mega Evolutions, new Pokemon, new forms, whatever it might be in this game, I think they'll reveal some here. This is the one where they would. This is comparable to our August Presents. We typically, for a Pokemon game, get an August Presents, and usually that ends up being what I like to call the big trailer, where it is kind of just epic. There's like cool music. They show off a lot about the game. You know, you think like for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, this is the one that revealed Terrastal. It also revealed, if I'm not mistaken, Satitan and, what else did it reveal? I think Paldeum, Wooper, and Fido, I think were the ones revealed there. But yeah, that trailer, for Legends Arceus, it was the one that revealed Hisuian Braviary, Hisuian Growlithe, Basiligian, and Weirdeer. I think we'll be seeing something like that here, where we get the reveal of probably a new Mega Evolution, probably a couple of new Mega Evolutions, honestly. I think that they'll show a bunch of them, not just one. I think we'll get at least 3 in this trailer. We also will get, in my opinion, some information on Emma. We see that for the box art of Pokemon Legends EA, Emma is here on the cover. We don't know anything about her role in the game, so I think they're going to give us some more clarity on that here. Lastly, one thing I want to touch on, because I have seen this circulate, and I think most of us aren't thinking this, but some of us are, so I want to quash it best I can. I've seen some people say maybe they'll reveal Gen 10 in this Presents. I would be floored if they did. Look, the reveal of Gen 10 is going to overshadow everything they reveal in this Presents. It's the reason they save the mainline games as the very, very end of these Presents, is because they, if they begin with the Legends EA trailer, most people aren't going to care about whatever's happening in Pokemon Go or Unite. So they have to save it for the end, so you're caring about each thing as it comes. And look, I'm sorry, if they do a big, awesome Legends EA trailer and then they reveal Gen 10, everyone's mind is on Gen 10, right? Nobody's going to care about Legends EA. They're going to be focused on Gen 10, and that's completely where their head will be at. I could see, at best, a nod to Gen 10, just like them revealing that, hey, Legends EA has a Switch 2 edition and a Switch 1 edition. Here's some details on the Switch 2 edition. We are also currently developing a Pokemon game completely made for the Switch 2. And that's it. So, they don't reveal Gen 10, but they kind of soft reveal it, right? They've done this in the past. They did this with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee a year before they announced it. They said, oh, we're working on a game for the Nintendo Switch. And then when Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out, they said, oh, we are also currently developing a more traditional Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch. And that was Sword and Shield. So they do this from time to time. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it here, but don't expect a Gen 10 announcement. That would kill all the hype they have set up for ZA. They're going to want to release that game before they give us any information on what's coming next, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know your Presents predictions in the comments below. Let me know what you think of mine. Where am I wrong? Where am I right? Let me know. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Are you from the future? Tell me what I got right and wrong. I will almost definitely be live streaming it on Hidden Power, my podcast, so, check that out. Go ahead and sub, hit the bell for notifications, all that stuff over there so you don't miss it. And until next time, I'll see all of you later.